गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः।
So many of us gathered for this first effort of Satsang online, Satsang to all the members. Our team of volunteers are so amazingly compassionate that they wanted it to be reaching across to as many people as possible. So we have live streamed it on YouTube. And those of you who want to forward this to somebody who you think would benefit, uh, you can forward that link. It is posted on Facebook as well. But it is great to see that the numbers are constantly increasing. There are about 150 showing right now. Before I begin, I would like to wish, pray that each one of you is safe, healthy, and staying strong at home. Because whenever such things happen, there is a kind of panic that sets in. Let's deal with about talking all those things through the next 1 hour. First, let's begin with three Oms, Sahana Vavatu, and Guru Brahma, and then we will move forward in understanding the situation. सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः It is so strange to see that so many of us are in front of our gadgets, in front of our different sizes of screens, trying to catch a glimpse, trying to be that which we chant every Saturday and Sunday. We stand as one family. So now here we stand as one family to reach out to every one of us to make sure that we have some kind of a seeming normalcy in our present day situation. Before I begin, I, from the bottom of my heart, thank and pray to all those people who are making sure that we stay home healthy. There are doctors, nurses, the medical staff, the policemen, the grocery store people, the people that clean our trash on a weekly basis, and many more that I can go on and on. To all these people, they could have also been scared, they could have also been overwhelmed, but their responsibility before anything else, and they have chosen responsibly to answer to those responsibilities. And I invoke the entire Guru Parampara, Puja Guru's blessings and Bhagavan's blessings on each one of them, because they are putting the brave foot forward in facing, in making sure that they're not just facing it, but facing it so efficiently that we all can stay home safe. And all that we have to do is stay home. When such situations happen, the first thing that sets in is fear, fear and panic. Fear is usually the result of that mindset wherein there is absolutely no understanding or clarity as to what exactly am I facing. What exactly am I going through? When I'm not very clear, then it becomes uh, an environment for fear. As soon as this fear sets in, then what happens? The mind goes into an amazing spin, and that spin is quite dangerous because from the crevices of our unconscious mind, we start projecting all possibilities, imaginations, fears, and when that grips us, there is a sense of negativity that comes out. Instead, the best way to understand is to know it, to understand it from the right source. Just because we have internet, it doesn't mean that we have the scope or the right source. There's a lot of information coming through what I call as WhatsApp universities. Let us not get carried away with these WhatsApp universities. The doctors and government agencies uh, are putting out a lot of information, and they're making sure that this information reaches across. Learn and understand from them, because the actual realities and the facts, when we come to know, that is when we can take precautionary measures, necessary measures. Otherwise, just listening or passing or forwarding, even in the different groups that we have established for seamless communication all across, it seems to be that, I have to act like the a policing agent, that I have to request earnestly all the members not to post things that they think, could be a solution, because it has to be a right solution, a right understanding that has to be encouraged to get across. So first is learn and know. Otherwise, this fear can grip, and in that gripped understanding, our intellect doesn't work, and the mind starts projecting its own dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. In that particular shloka, whenever the mind becomes bhramita, chitta brahmana, when it happens, then we start projecting a lot of things out there. And in that projection, we not only are creating a bothersome situation, an irksome situation for us, but also for everybody around us. And as much as we promote it, that much we become the source of extending the problem rather than being the source of solace and peace for myself as well as for everybody around me. That has to be very clearly understood by each one of us, that whatever we do, let us let us make sure that we are an integral part of a solution giver rather than fear and its spread. So the request is that get the right information. I am not the right person to give that information. Therefore, I have chosen not to get into that zone as to what should be the solutions. I may or may not know, that is a different issue. But when we come to know, learn from the right source. It's not just this situation, for any situation in life, that is how one has to tackle these fears before it triggers into a panic mode. To know, what am I facing? Once I come to know, then I have to first accept it. And this acceptance has to be complete. See, for many of us, it may not be a probable reality. For many of those who are listening to this and the situation is there in your house, then they may say, how do I accept it? Why should I accept it? I'm not in a mindset to accept it. So let us start with that. Let us first accept the resistance to accept it. That's a good beginning. Now, once we accept it, that is when we can be looking forward for tackling it and learning how to find a solution for it. Otherwise, it becomes difficult for many of us to even find a firm footing. So accept it 100% that this is what is the situation that I'm in. And the next thing that we start getting engaged in is brooding. Now, this brooding does not create an environment of healthy pattern within. So when do we get into, how do I recognize I'm getting into a brooding mode? When I'm repeating the problem again and again and again, the nth time, that is when I recognize that I'm in that brooding mode. And usually the question is, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me only? I have been doing japa, I have been doing prarthana, I have been doing prayers, but why is this happening to me? Now, instead of asking why me, and this pattern of questions, I think a better way to look at it is, this is happening. Who started it, why they started it, it doesn't matter. It is happening. And once I recognize that it is happening and accept it, then I move to the next stage of analyzing it. And the doctors, the different agencies have been telling us that, hey, first thing that you can do is keep yourself clean. In the market, in the stores, there is no uh, Purell or whatever brand. Uh, you have soap and water. Keep yourself clean. How many times? How many ever times you think is necessary? Somebody I saw very beautiful things that the message is loud and clear in the very year 2020. 20 times scrub and then 20 times repeat it over the day. Just make sure that you are clean. Stay home. If you are not into non-essentials and can work from home and do things from home, stay home. So these are the steps. Once you accept, then how do I adapt? What are the different methods to adapt? Like, for example, me and the entire team of volunteers and the brahmacharis and Divya and Gautami, when we had to launch this on Zoom and various other formats, this is a completely new format. This is a completely new learning curve. And we all sat through like a workshop, learned through, processed it, and tested it out, making sure that we learn so that we can adapt. So accept it and then analyze it thoroughly so that I have the means to adapt to it. And then act wisely so that wisely, compassionately, various names that can be used is act wisely so that I consciously make a decision that I am a part of a solution and not a part of the problem itself. That those who are in this situation, those who are in this problem, I constantly am trying to be of that compassionate outlet from where they can find that peace. So accepting it, then analyzing it thoroughly, adapting to it, and then finally acting wisely, compassionately, so that I am a solution. 4 steps. Now, the fifth step, once this whole thing is set, then the next thing is staying alone in the room, staying alone by yourself. Even me and the brahmacharya who lives here with me, along with me, we are we are putting ourselves in 2 different rooms. Just twice, maybe 3 times we meet, just so that even that interaction is minimal. because we have to be there, trying to be there, providing solutions, and we cannot cause a situation. So we have to be in a room. Now, being in a room has its challenges, the loneliness that creeps in. That is where all the Vedanta that we have studied should jump into action. There is a vast difference between being alone and being lonely. Being alone is that mindset wherein whether I am in the midst of people or away from people and things and beings, I am comfortable being who I am, where I am. Loneliness, on the other hand, is when I try to thrust my boredom, mechanic sense of living into the environment and try to sap something out from the outside world so that I feel some kind of fulfillment and something fills me in. And that is what I'm searching. Instead, the mind should be prepared to face this loneliness and to be comfortable being in this aloneness, and the strength has to be built. The mind has its source of leaks from within, from our own unconscious, various kinds of imaginations and prejudices and that which we carry, that keeps leaking. How to seal that? The process of sealing it so that I can find some strength, some stability, some courage within my own heart. Because anything taken from outside world, anything taken from the external sources will last only so long that as soon as I am away from that influence, my loneliness, my fears, and the panic, and then whatever is spun around based off of this, it will continue. Instead, this mind has to be strengthened. How can it be strengthened? Pujya Swami Swarupananji, right at this outset, had communicated to all of us that please, please, please chant individually, chant as a family, make it a habit to constantly chant. And he suggested that chant Hanuman Chalisa, the simplest of the mantras, the simplest of the processes, that which we have learned right since we are young. Now, what does this mantra chanting do? When we chant these mantras, first thing that it does is when my mind is completely occupied and when my mind is completely in tune with the mantra which is being chanted, any unnecessary other thought which is there, that gets completely cut. That gets completely snapped out. So it gets a break. Conscious mind producing this junk of trash that is constantly weaving. The more it weaves, the more energy is expended. What does mantra chanting do? Japa chanting do? It breaks that pattern because in our minds, at any given point of time, there can be one thought that can run. Not two, there can be only one thought that can run. And when that is consciously engaged in chanting the mantra, then it cannot have those unnecessary, unhealthy patterns of thoughts. They get broken. Energy which is generated, which is conserved, generated because of the mantra chanting and conserved because of the unnecessary thought patterns which are broken, which expend energy. That energy is conserved. That seals the unconscious mind to release a lot of negativities. That is where the trigger is happening. So that seals it. So when we chant this mantra, how many times should I chant? Usually we are told that chant 108 times. Why is this 108 that important? The, that numerology which says, which talks about 108, there is so much to talk about, but let me just tell you simple detail that this human body from head to the toe, there is a nervous system that goes up and down primarily through the spinal cord. Therefore, the rishis have identified that on the spinal cord there are the chakras, the seven main chakras. Understand it as these cables that are running with power. There is a surge, there is a magnetic layer that that develops around, and there are the seven major which are right on the spinal cord. But there are other minor joints wherein these nervous system cross each other's path, and a total, including those seven, there are 108 of them. When we chant this mantra 108 times, what is happening? From the most physical level, there is an alignment started, alignment being worked at by this mantra and its effect. So, at a very physical level, wherever that tension, agitation, toxins, they get completely washed out, released. That which blocks the energy to clearly flow, that is released. All those toxins are which are blocking are removed. When the whole system is unclogged, and in that unclogged environment, when the energy is constant, we feel energetic, we feel positive, we feel revibratingly rejuvenated. That is how the mantra works. It is not that when we chant these mantras that there is going to be suddenly a form of Bhagwan that comes in front of us and say, Bolo, how can I bless you? That is not what we are talking about. It's a very simple process that when we chant these mantras, chant Hanuman Chalisa once, then you can chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra 108 times, or your Ishtadeva mantra 108 times. How many times can I do this 108 times? How about making a schedule that between that schedule you take yourself 15 minutes, and every 15-minute gap that you find, fill it in with this japa, that you wash your hands, wash your face, come down, sit in front of the altar, and then chant Om Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritaat, and then go back to your task. If you are not able to find that time, at least do it twice a day. While you're at it, each individual who is generating this positivity, they have this shakti, this ability called Sankalpa Shakti. Now, what do we do with that Sankalpa Shakti? With that Sankalpa Shakti, we take a vow, we take a Sankalpa that this positive energy that I am uh, producing, creating, may that positive energy also impact all those people who are putting their lives at stake so that we can be healthy and we can be safe. May this energy help them as well. May those who are in distress, those who are agitated, those who are going through this particular situation at their homes or at individual level, may they get that mental strength, may they get that mental energy, may what I am doing, may that help them as well. Do with that sankalpa. So today, in the beginning, I said that any such situation, first what we have to do is accept, then analyze, then adapt to the situation, and then act compassionately, wisely into the situation, into the surroundings that I am an integral part of. Then deal with the loneliness, gather the strength to be alone. Alone doesn't have to necessarily mean that you are by yourself. Whether you are in a group setting or a completely isolated setting, you always know who you are, and what strengths that you have, and how to apply them. That is where you gather yourself. Now, how do you reach there? So the first step that we have to do is stop that mind where there is unconsciously there are a lot of negativities that it is breeding. That has to be snapped, and that can be snapped by a healthy practice of involving japa. Staying at home, we can find those pockets of moments where we can do this. And I also said that we have to do it 108 times each time, so that it cleanses the whole system and it benefits the individual to draw the best effect of this mantra chanting process. And while you're at it, also do the sankalpa for helping others. Now, once we have taken stock, when once we have made sure that this seeming balance has been established, then reach out to those that need our active help. It not necessarily means that you have to step out of your house or do anything of that sort. Reach out to your friends, WhatsApp, FaceTime, whatever works. Reach out to your friends, talk to them. And instead of sharing uh, depressing statistics, try to lighten the situation and bring some joy into their lives. Try to bring some hope into their lives. And whenever necessary, wherever necessary, if there is a family, if there is a friend, if there is a neighbor who is struck with this situation of the COVID 19 taking over their lives, and they need that extra help, you could be that help wherein you can reach out to them, probably bring in groceries and leave it at their doorsteps. uh, Find and make sure that they understand that they're not going through this alone. They're not going through this by themselves, that you are there, morally and physically there, to support and be there whenever necessary. So that is how we can provide that solutions for our kith and kin, our family and friends, our neighbors, our surroundings. So far, it has not gotten into an extent wherein we are in a curfew, but if need be, step out into your backyard, get some sunlight, go back, go back inside, and find that quietude within. Now, once this is taken care of, then the weekly satsangs and various scriptures, various books that we have studied, make a good habit to focus this mind onto that supreme reality and its understanding. To understand that we are being pointed to that fact, to that truth, that which is indivisible, unshakable. The more closer that I get to it, the greater is the peace that I cherish within, so that I can meditate upon that Paramatma as guided by our satsangs earlier or by the scriptures that you are studying. Okay. Usually, I don't share or I don't talk about the forwards, but there is this beautiful story that somebody sent it to me, and I thought it was worth sharing. There was there was this guy who was who had always envisioned that I should own this brand of car, a Mercedes Benz 7 Series, and he was eagerly working towards making sure that he gets to the point to own it. And that day finally arrived, and he was so happy. He went in, traded his old car, got his new car, and he said, "Let me go out for a long drive." And he sat in there, spun it around, and then went on the street, onto the road. As he was going through, zipping through in his new car, ecstatic that finally there is this, that which he had to accomplish, now is in his grip, and he's driving it. As he was driving, suddenly, out of nowhere, his window shield got hit by something heavy. He was startled, he was shaken, and got a grip of the situation, pulled himself out, and stepped out of the car, looked at his window shield. There was somebody that threw a brick at his car. And now he was like, who in heaven would do this? And that too is my new car. How could somebody do this? Why is this happening to me? What wrong did I do? It is a self effort put, earned righteously. Why is this happening to me? They said, whoever it is, they have to be held responsible for this. And he turned his car around and went back to that very place where he remembered that the brick was thrown. As he stepped out of the car and started searching where that stone came from, that brick came from, he saw a young kid. And that kid was standing there. And he stepped closer to that kid and said, were you the fellow that threw that stone at me, that brick at my car? Do you know it my new car? And that kid very timidly said, yes, sir. I was the one that threw that brick at your car. And gripped with this anger, he just took that kid to the wall and said, how dare you do this? The kid was sobbing. The kid was crying. And on the top of his uh, courage that he mustered up, he finally said, sir, I had no other choice. People would not stop otherwise. I tried. I tried to stop people to seek their attention because down this pavement, down there, my brother, who is on the wheelchair, he fell off. And he's too big for me. I cannot pull him. I cannot pick him up. I cannot put him back on that wheelchair. I tried stopping so many, nobody would listen. So with no other way, with no other alternative, I threw the stone. And I'm sorry, but I got your attention. Still not completely convinced. Where is? And then he was led to that little pavement down the path. And he saw that there was this wheelchair and this kid who had fallen. And he rushed to him, picked him up, put him on the wheelchair, dusted him off. There was a slight bruise, so he pulled out his handkerchief and straightened everything and gave that wheelchair to that kid and asked him to safely take his brother home. Probably that was his longest stretch of walk that he ever had in his life. When he reached back, he started pondering. Now, for us also, this whole situation is exactly like that. The car, the beautiful new Mercedes, that car is our present day society with all its space and uh, jagmak chamak in it, which we want to breeze through life, the pace of it, and enjoy it. And net result, what falls off is the very system that we are an integral part of. That system, the ecology, Mother Nature, is completely thrown off balance. And to seek our attention, she kind of threw this brick at us, at our society, at our generation. Can you imagine how small that virus should have been? Entire human societies have come to a standstill. One brick from Mother Nature. And now it doesn't matter if I'm in a big house or a small house, accomplished individual or unaccomplished individual, educated or illiterate, wealthy or poor, doesn't matter. It takes us all by the same stride. It's a good time for us to make considerable change after thorough investigation and evaluation of our own selves. That if I am an integral part of this society, this ecological system, what should I do to make sure that I bring in balance into this society and system? That the balance begins from me, the change starts from me. In fact, that guy in that story never changed, never got his side of the door where the brick had hit him on the window pane, and there was a little crack and a dent on there. He did not get it changed or repaired, just so that it keeps reminding him that it's not all about the pace and the accomplishments of that pace, but it's about how rooted and balanced I am. Now, if we get to that balance within, and each one of us gets to that balance within, and we are interacting based out of that balance from within, can you imagine a society where we could have brought in amazing depth, peace, and meaningfulness into not just my own life, but each one of our lives? I think let us use this time instead of panic or brooding. Let us use this time to reevaluate and come to that balanced sense with which we stand as a solution, the change beginning from ourselves. Now, the last thing that I wanted to cover was, it is said that prayer has strength, but the prayer gathers a lot more strength if it is collectively done. So, according to our Pramukh Swamiji, Swami Swarupanandji, as he has pointed out, that let us chant this Hanuman Chalisa. In the last 15 minutes, we will chant Hanuman Chalisa. We will chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, and then Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, that particular portion of it as well. So let us, I'm not opening all to be chanting, chant in your own space. Though I'm not a great chanter or a singer myself, you'll have to live with it and put up with my singing capacities. So I'm sharing this screen with you, which is in Devanagari script, Hanuman Chalisa. And if you cannot read this, then I would suggest you can get Hanuman Chalisa online on your different mobile or other platforms. But please do join. As many of us joining, that much more strength of positivity that will contribute to ourselves and through us to the world around us. So please join me in chanting this Hanuman Chalisa. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनौ रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरण विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम रे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन पल पावे। चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुमरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुमरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महा सुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूरति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। Now we will chant Trayambakam Yajamahe 11 times. Please join along. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ last thing, please stay safe, stay home, stay strong. If you need anything, please reach us out, reach to the teacher or the coordinators or me directly, ping me on WhatsApp, and whatever be your need or requirement, we will try to be there for you. Don't think that you're going through this all by yourself. We are there, and this is the time to stand up and say, we stand as one family, and do be there for each other as a family. So, to the entire Chinmay family, wishing, praying, and hoping that each one of us be safe, be healthy, and be strong. Thank you. Hari Om.